everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you dermatologist tips for Keratosis pilaris. If you're new here, welcome. I'm going to encourage you to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for day in the life of a dermatologist vlogs, my skincare ingredient favorites, and skincare tips. So keratosis pilaris, or KP, is a common skin condition where the skin feels rough and bumpy. These rough bumps are actually the accumulation of dead and sloughing off skin cells that get plugged up within the hair follicle. Keratosis pilaris can occur anywhere on the body, but in adults and adolescents it's most commonly found on the upper arms, the thighs, and the buttocks. People with a family history of keratosis pilaris, seasonal allergies, asthma, or eczema tend to be more commonly affected by keratosis pilaris. KP is a chronic skin condition that can episodically flare, so an ongoing skincare routine is key. So some tips for what to include in a maintenance skincare routine. Tip number 1 is to gently exfoliate the skin with a washcloth, as this will help slough off some of those built-up skin cells. Avoid overly aggressive scrubbing, however, because this can further dry out the skin, irritate the skin, and actually worsen your KP. Apply a product called a keratolytic after gently exfoliating, as this also will help to loosen some of those built-up skin cells. You'll want to use a product that contains one of the following keratolytic ingredients: alpha hydroxy acid, salicylic acid, lactic acid, glycolic acid, urea, or a retinoid. Differin contains 0.1% adapalene. This is a retinoid cream that is FDA approved for the treatment of acne. Previously only available by prescription, you can now pick this up over the counter. While sold for acne, you may find that giving it a whirl on your KP is helpful. I was able to pick up my Differin at CVS for approximately $14, which isn't a bad deal. Now, it's important to take care when using a keratolytic, as using too much or using these ingredients too often can actually leave the skin raw, irritated, and susceptible to dryness and worsening of your KP. And because exfoliating the skin with a keratolytic lends to dryness, be sure and apply a thick and greasy moisturizer afterwards. The best time to apply moisturizers is actually immediately after bathing, when the skin is wet and hydrated. Additionally, apply moisturizers frequently throughout the day whenever your skin feels dry. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and as I'm sure you're keenly aware of if you suffer from KP, it tends to be a chronic skin condition, and it can episodically flare despite a good maintenance routine. Particularly when the ambient air humidity drops and the weather becomes drier, KP tends to flare. So in addition to a maintenance routine, here are some tips to prevent flares. First and foremost, I'll re-emphasize the need for applying moisturizer to the skin, as this is key for both maintenance and prevention of flares. I also encourage you to give second thought to your hair removal strategies. Shaving, waxing, and epilation can actually irritate the hair follicle and lead to worsening of your KP and make it more noticeable. So maybe back off for a little while to cut down on those flares. Make sure and take short showers and baths, and limit your bathing to no more than once a day. Excessive bathing tends to dry out the skin, lead to further irritation and worsening of keratosis pilaris. I also recommend using a mild cleanser and avoiding harsh bar soaps, as these further dry out the skin barrier and worsen keratosis pilaris. And lastly, a great tip for decreasing flares of both dry skin and keratosis pilaris is to keep a humidifier in the bedroom. This will keep the ambient humidity up at night and help reduce the chance of drying out your skin as you sleep. So that's going to conclude today's video on dermatologist tips for managing your keratosis pilaris and tips for preventing flares. There are a lot of different moisturizing creams and potential keratolytics out there. It can be a confusing world to navigate. So I've compiled a list of my favorite affordable keratolytic creams, moisturizers, and gentle soaps. So be sure and expand the descriptor box below for a list of these products with links to where to find them. So if you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Comment below, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. Talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!